Difference between Ethernet splitter and switch. I have one Ethernet port that is wired directly to the router on another level. However, I want to run a desktop and a server both off this one Ethernet port. Can anyone tell me the difference between an Ethernet splitter and a switch? Also, will either the splitter or switch slow down the connection as opposed to just one connection?
An Ethernet splitter takes advantage of the fact that 10-bit and 100-bit Ethernet only use 4 wires, even though the cable, almost certainly, contains 8 wires. The splitter consists of 2 pieces, see picture. One is connected to each end of the existing cable, providing the appearance of 2 ports at each end. Each link has 4 dedicated wires, so there is no risk of packet collisions. Gigabit Ethernet does require all 8 wires, so 100-bit, full duplex, is the limit through a splitter. A gigabit switch would be required to increase the bandwidth. Also, if your router only has one Ethernet port, then using a splitter is not an option. Referring to your other question, I've listed the main pros and cons of each option. Ethernet splitter. Plus ought to be cheapest. Plus passive, doesn't require a power supply. Limited to providing one extra port, at 100 mid/s. Destination switch/router must have 2 free Ethernet ports. 100 mid/s switch. Plus potential for many extra Ethernet ports. Requires some setup. Requires a power supply, unless powered by PO. Gigabit switch. Plus higher bandwidth. Most expensive. Requires the rest of the network, LAN, to support gigabit to benefit. Hub. Plus relatively cheap, but not significantly cheaper than switches. Very poor performance, especially as network load increases, due to collisions. Plus may or may not require a power supply.
I would go with a switch for sure. Less, no collisions, and if you ever have network congestion problems, you can more easily weed out the problem with a sniffer.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.